I am the most successful person on YouTube. I've banged 99 models in your mother, probably because I have a 12-inch. I haven't done a video in a while. It's been almost a month since I've done a video. And what I'd like to do going forward is first, I've never said this, just say thank you to the 800 people subscribed to this channel. I know it's not like astronomical numbers like a million people, but to me, 800 people decided to click subscribe, and to think that I have something meaningful to say or I'm entertaining so personally to these 801 people, it means a lot to me. In saying that, yeah, I haven't done a video in about a month. I went to England and then I had some other life changes and things happened, but here I am again. And going forward, I've decided to try to do 3 long form videos every week. Now, most things in my life, if I want to learn something or how someone did something, I just watch them. And I remember this guy who's really big on YouTube now, Alex Origami. I don't know how to say his last name, but I remember seeing him a while ago with like 300,000 subscribers. And then over the course of like 7 months, he's at like 2-point-something million. I know how he did it. It's because he hired a production team to make his YouTube videos. But like I was saying, to learn things and how to do things, let's say I want to increase my subscriber base. Well, how did he do it? So I went to look at his YouTube channel and his publishing schedule, and it seems to be pretty automatic. Every week, he's doing like 3 long-form videos and 2 shorts every day. Now, I don't know if I can do 2 shorts every day. That would be tough, but I'd like to try to do 3 long-form videos over the next 6 months and just see what happens. It's going to be difficult, but I've got to do it. And that means when I feel like I have something that I need to say it, because I don't know how many videos that would be over 6 months, say 12 times 6. I don't know. There's a lot of smart people out there, probably around 70 videos or so over the next 6 months. So if I have an idea, I got to make a video. In this video, most of my content is centered around helping people build an online business. It's something I've spent the last 2.5 years of my life doing. I pretty much mastered it. And unlike all these other fake fucking people, I want to give free advice, free value, because I've done it and I can help you or other people who want to make an online business. I can show you exactly how to do it. And I always say this: if you have a question, leave it in the comments and I will answer you. So most of my content's about that. But in saying that, I assume that most people who watch my videos, they want to make an online business or they want to make more money. And that's when I had an idea for this video. It's going to be different. I'm going to say things about my life and about who I am in this video that I've never said before in any video or really to any other person. And it taught me a very important lesson about life. So I'd like to just talk about my life so people know who I am. And I've read some comments say, oh, well, you grew up rich or something like that. And it's just funny to me how people really have no idea about anyone's life. So to say something like that, or if I have judgment on someone else, I try to reserve it because I really don't know what anyone else has gone through. So I grew up below lower middle class. I wasn't really given anything in life. I had 2 really important things: a great mom and a great dad who stuck together through everything they've been through. So I had a mom who loved me and a dad who loved me. And although I was never really given anything, all of my clothes were hand-me-downs from my older brothers. I never got a new game system. Most of my childhood, I spent fishing with my friends. I spent in the woods playing sports. I I didn't have a cell phone until I was 17 years old. That's the truth. It was a flip phone. When all my friends had new iPhones, I had a flip phone. They made fun of me for that, but whatever. I could still text them and hang out. So it was just a good childhood. I didn't really have much. I just had a great mom and a dad and sister and two brothers. So yeah, I don't come from money. Never have. Everything I have, I built on my own. So after, childhood, then I went to high school, and I was just like your typical high schooler. I like to party. I like to hang out with my friends after school. I didn't really give a shit about school. Never did. Just your typical high schooler, play basketball after school, kind of up to no good. I never really got in serious trouble, but I was just kind of lost too. I always felt like, I should be doing more than just hanging out with my friends after school. But I never did. That's what I did. And then going back a little bit, when I was like 13, I remember my dad got a new video camera, and he was like so happy about it to film stuff at his job. And I remember looking at him, seeing how happy he was, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to make movies. I want to hold a camera like that. It was just really impressionable. So after that point, I just started making videos and movies with my friends. And then after high school, I got into one of the top film schools in the country. And again, I only went to college. I only went to university really to make my parents happy. I hated school, and I only got into university, film school, because the film school saw my work going back to like 5th grade, and they were like, holy shit, this kid's really talented. And just to mention really here, to say that I really am helping people for free, I swear in my videos, because this is who I am, and I'm doing fine without YouTube money. So I don't need YouTube ad money. So what you're going to get from me is who I am and real value. But so got into film school to make my parents happy. Went there for a year, and I dropped out. I dropped out because it was really evident to me and what all the professors were saying, film school professors, if you really want to make a movie, you just got to get after it. And I knew staying in school was never going to make me a film. And before I went to film school, I was like, the day I need to make a feature film before I die. Because my idol growing up, and still one of my idols, is Stanley Kubrick. Maybe probably the best filmmaker alive, and I'm obsessed with the guy. And I'm also obsessed with like the Beatles, because I also started writing songs at a very young age. My dad is a professional musician, and it just turns out that I'm very gifted with music. So dropped out film school, and then I didn't have a degree, so I got a job at a cleaning company, and I was scrubbing toilets. And so there's no job or no work. I've dug ditches before too. There's no work that I haven't really done, starting at the bottom. So I scrubbed toilets for 3 years, saved up $13,000. My parents, again, they let me live at their house to try to pursue this dream. I wrote a feature film. I made it. It was kind of this local. I got the community involved. It premiered at a local movie theater, which was really cool. I didn't make any money from it, but it really turned me into, I wouldn't say a man, but it turned me into somebody that realized, hey, if you have a dream or something and you go after it, like, you can achieve it. And there's going to be people that are willing to help you if you ask. So I made the feature film, and during this process, I met my wife, who's my wife now, and she's not from this country. So I remember one of our first dates was a screening test at a movie theater where I premiered the film, and it was just her and me in this big movie theater watching my movie on a fucking movie theater screen, and I was writing down like how the colors might look and how it was pretty cool. Shortly after that, we got married. And I was broke. She must have saw something in me, but I was broke. And again, she wasn't from this country, so we didn't have a lot of money. We couldn't pay a lawyer, so we had to do the immigration process on our own. And that was really difficult. And we had one car, and I was able to find her some work on the side, but I had to drive her to work, then pick her up. And during this time, we also got a little dog, Cocker Spaniel. And as time progressed, life was getting very hard. We were poor, to the point where, like, well, if I got a flat tire, that's going to cost me $200, and that's going to hurt a lot. We were poor to the point where the choice between saving money every month or having paying for the heat bill, it was like one of the coldest winters ever recorded where I live. I was like, we can't pay the heat bill. So we went to Walmart, got like a cheap space heater and put it in the room and put towels under the doors and just like locked ourselves in the room. So life was really hard. And the harder life got, I kept thinking, man, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. I want to make a lot of money. I want to escape this. This is horrible. I want to get rich. And the more I thought about that, the worse life got for me. The more I thought about that, the poorer we got. And granted, I had always, from a young age, I always wanted to be successful. I always knew that I was going to be important. But at this time, responsibilities change. Someone else's life is I'm taking care of. So I thought, man, I just want to make a lot of money. I just want to get rich. And the more I thought this, like, the poorer we were getting. And it was weird. And the only job, looking back, I could have done other stuff. I could have been like a freelance video editor or something, or I also had a wedding videography business. I could have like kept building that, but I didn't. I was a Papa John's delivery driver because working there gave me the flexibility to pick up my wife and take her to work when I needed to, and then I could work in the evenings late into the night. Looking back, it was really dumb. We had one car. Why would I put more miles on it than I needed to? But that's the job I had. Great people there, by the way. But so then one day, our dog is like 9 months old at this time. We'd been living like poor for like 9 months. The immigration process is very difficult if you don't have a lawyer, and it's stressful, and you want things to move fast, but they don't. So you're kind of stuck in this limbo zone. And anyone who's listening who's been through this process, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So after we have our dog, he's probably like close to 9 months now. I take my wife to work, then I take my dog to the dog park. I'm introducing him to other dogs, and he's loving it. He's having fun. And this one day at the dog park, this other dog, a big dog, just attacks him and bites the shit out of him. And I'm freaking out, kind of, and I get the dog separated. And I'm just like, holy shit. It's kind of weird. And then my dog just like goes back to playing, and he looks fine, and his little tail is wagging, and okay, he's fine. So then, and I look over him, I don't see any wounds on his back or anything. And so then take him back home, pick up my wife, bring her back home. Then I drive to work, delivery drive, pizza. Probably stressed as hell just because living in poverty does that to you. And then I come back home, probably like 10 or 11 o'clock. And usually my dog is always there to jump on me. He's always there. And he's not there. And I think I asked my wife, where's Raskus at? That's his name. She's like, I don't know. So I go into our bedroom, and he's there in his cage, which we have a blanket covering, so it's dark and it's his spot. Eventually he comes out, and he's like licking himself a lot. I'm tired, It's late. It's like 11:30 at this point. And I flip him over, and I saw that the dog had actually bit his testicles. His scrotum had been ripped open, and his testicles were kind of hanging out. And I'm just like, fuck. fuck, I cannot handle this right now. But what are you going to do? So we get in a car. We find this one animal hospital. It's 24/7 emergency. It's open. And we're driving there, and I'm realizing, like, shit, I don't have enough money to pay for this. So I have to call my dad, which is, I call him up, and I'm like, this happened. I might have to borrow some money. I'm really sorry. I don't want to ask. To me, this is the most embarrassing moment of my life, having a family and now having to ask my dad for money because I can't take care of my family. You have to understand, for me, that was the most embarrassing moment of my life. And my dad says, he's like, Chris, don't worry about it. If that's the worst thing in your life, you're doing pretty fucking good. But to me, I didn't like that. So we go to the animal hospital and we have to park outside for like 30 minutes until they come and are able to take the dog. And my wife's kind of crying. And it's late and I'm tired. And between the parking lot of the vet and this road, this highway, there's probably 60 or 70 yards of woods. And I go walking out there and I just kneel on the ground and I just start crying. And I'm like, God, I need help. I cannot do this. I need help. And I'm crying, you know. I don't want my wife to see me. I don't want anyone to see me. Again, I've never told this story before. Like, I need help. And then I vowed at that moment, I was like, I am never, ever, ever going to be poor ever again. And they take my dog. We get back in the car, drive home. They called me at like 7:30 in the morning, but we got home around 1:30 or 2. So I got like 4 hours of sleep. I picked up my dog. Everything's good with him. He's fine. He was a pedigree dog, and we thought we could breed him because he's a full breed, but that's never going to happen at this point. And that day, the day after, I don't know how, but I had the idea for the Blueprint, which is my company. There's a sticker right here. I teach other professionals. I know you're going to think this is a scam, but I teach other professionals how to sell their products online, and I teach other people the fundamentals of building an online business. And I learned all of this stuff on my own without any help. I had tried courses during these 9 months when I was in poverty, and they were all bullshit. And that was one reason why I made the Blueprint the way I did, so people would never be scammed and learn the real way to do it. The Blueprint pretty much is just a documentary of my life creating an online business with updates all the way to 2028. And then you join a membership program. And if you buy the 3-month subscription, you get an hour-long video call with me within any time in those 3 months that you need to talk to me so I can actually give you answers. But that's what the Blueprint is. And but the next day, I had the idea for that. And I told my wife, I was like, get my camera and start filming me, because they're going to see that I'm fucking poor right now. They're going to see it. And that'll be the first video of this documentary. And I filmed myself over 2.5 years, my life just improving in every step I took along the way. So the thing about this story is almost everything I've wanted in my life, and it's probably the same with you, almost everything I really, really wanted, I ended up getting. But there's always a price to pay for everything you ask for. For example, if I had graduated college and had a job making like $50,000 a year and then got my wife and we were just living comfortable, I would have never wanted to be rich. I would have just been fine that way. But because I always wanted to be successful, and especially at that rough time, which was really rough, I didn't know that I had to now walk around with the scar that would propel me to be there. So in telling that story, I almost started crying again, talking about crying in the woods. That's how it, and you ask anybody, I don't cry really. That's why I went out to the woods and I did it alone, because I'm not some manly guy. I just don't like crying in front of people unless. But that moment left a scar on me. And if I hadn't had that scar, it would have never propelled me to create the blueprint and be who I am today. So the lesson is, if you really, really want to make money, whatever you really, really want, ask yourself, what am I willing to pay for this? Am I willing to pay some money for this? Am I willing to pay with a scar inside of me that I have to get in order to propel me there? You know, what are you willing to pay for to be successful? Because there's a price to pay for everything. And if going back, I can't tell you if I would have rather had that experience or just and be who I am today, or just had a job making $50,000 a year. It's hard to say, but I made the choice in my mind, and then I worked, everything became a reality, but I had to go through hell. So the lesson is, be careful what you ask for, because there's a price to pay for everything. And before I start this journey of doing 3 long-form videos a week, I just wanted to give people my life, pretty much unfiltered. That's how I got to be here today. My other plan is, when I turn 35, have enough money to pretty much be fine, invested, whatever, and then I'm going to make movies again. Another thing I'm going to do is, as I said, I'm a musician, so I think I'm going to do like a song every week too, because I love music, and it's a good way to, maybe the best way to reach people. And I think if I'm swearing in my videos and stuff, but I can sing a nice song, maybe it'll add some humility to the people that watch me. But I guess this video is really for people that are thinking in their mind, I want to be rich, I want to be successful. Do you really want to? Do you really want to? Are you willing to go down deep to get it? Or are you just saying it? Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you wish for. And, you know, there's a lot of people who are successful that have a easy way or a nice way getting there. I didn't. And most of the successful people I study in life, they didn't either. It really seems like everybody. Elon Musk was abused by his dad. He was nearly beaten to death. He went through hell. My favorite filmmaker, Stanley Kubrick. The first feature film he made, he thought it was going to be great. People were laughing in the movie theater. There were stories that he left the theater crying. He got rid of every copy of his first movie ever made because he was embarrassed by it. That'll leave a scar in you to either quit or say, I'm going to be the best filmmaker fucking ever. Michael Jordan didn't make his high school team. His mom, his brother said he locked himself in his room and fucking cried. He could have quit, or it propelled him to be who Michael Jordan is. So, I don't know. Be prepared for the worst if you want to be the best, because they seem to be synonymous with one another. That's my life story for my 801 subscribers. Thank you guys for watching, and look forward to more content from me going forward. So thank you, and